what are the functions of the lumbar spine?
Mobility, the transmission of the weight.
Transmission of the weight. Okay, yes. You are right. Then what else? Which slide are you able to see right now?
Lumbar spine.
Okay.
Number function 1.
Are you able to see the function 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. So you know the answer already. Okay, anyway, fine. So you know now you're seeing the general configuration, is it? Please tell me, because something has changed in the way Teams is working today, and I have not been able to share the same way as I always do the PowerPoint. So which slide is visible right now?
The function 1 to 3 points.
Ma'am, here.
The function only.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
bola patkan. Function. Okay, fine. So you can see the function right now. So the first function here is it has to support the weight of the body, right? So when we talk about the weight of the body right now, we are looking at the head, the arms, and the trunk. Okay, so all the superimposed spine, the cervical region, the thoracic region is now being supported by the lumbar region. Okay, so the primary function is supporting, and that is why we are going to be looking at more stability as compared to mobility, right? So because if it has to support as much weight, then in that case it also needs to be a relatively stable region of the spine. Okay, but does it only do the function of supporting the body weight? No. Much of the range of motion, for example, when you are bending down to pick up something, so which is a very fundamental functional movement that you perform. In such a case, it also needs to allow that mobility at that particular region. Okay, so to some extent we have to also take into consideration that the lumbar spine is also mobile. So here again, like almost in the entire vertebral column, we have got a good balance between the stability and the mobility requirements from the lumbar region. Apart from the fact that it supports the body weight, the other reason why it needs to be stable is it is transmitting loads from the upper extremity to the pelvis and to the lower extremity. And for this transmission of loads also it needs to be stable. Okay, so as I said, a balance between stability and mobility, and apart from that there is this function of also protecting the spinal cord in that region and the lumbosacral plexus as it emerges from the corresponding segments. Okay, so these three become the functions of the lumbar spine. So like I mentioned earlier, this falls somewhere in between the cervical and the thoracic extremes. So cervical, where it was more mobility biased and the body weight was not as much, thoracic was more stability biased. So this becomes somewhere in between the two extremes. Okay, so thereby how is it that it is designed in order to be able to serve these functions is what we are going to be seeing. Can you see the next slide now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so what is the general configuration of the spine? It is made up of 5 lumbar vertebrae, okay, which are essentially joined in the manner that we have seen so far, and all in all it gives it a more lordotic configuration. Okay, if you see from the posterior aspect, you will be able to see that as you go down, the articular pillars